What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're a Farfetch'd Evolution team. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I haven't done this one before, so it feels good to finally get this done. Farfetch'd is one of my favorite Pokemon, and we got the evolution here. We've got Farfetch'd, Galar Farfetch'd, and we've got Sirfetch'd. So what I did right to make up the numbers, I used the 3 normals and the 3 shinies to make up 6. If you want to check me out on Twitch for all the live streams, people, make sure you do if you haven't already. Link is in the description of the video, and let's get into the video. So we've got 2 battles today. These were some really good battles and interesting teams I came across. Quick little announcement too. This is my 799th theme team. Wow, it's crazy. So the 800th one is the next upload. So that should be tomorrow. So I've got something interesting planned for that. If it doesn't go up tomorrow, it'll go up the next day. Okay, we got a battle here. This one was against Sans, and we've got a very interesting team here. We got a Starmie lead. So I'm starting things off with my special Farfetch'd. Now, Farfetch'd doesn't get a lot of special moves, and they're pretty limited, but I have done a Farfetch'd with special before, so I remember this amazing set. So we got Starmie going for a rapid spin there. Is it choice band or rapid spin? And it's going to be boosting its speed while one stage. That's a really good benefit to the move rapid spin, right? Like, it was already a good move at getting rid of like the traps and stuff on the field, but now it gets like a speed boost too, which is kind of nice. So it's got leftovers as the item. I've got this choice specs Farfetch'd. It's not doing a lot of damage. Now the Starmie is going to go for a rapid spin, then it's going to go for a flip turn. So I'm like, okay, I wonder what sort of set this was. So the next Pokemon coming here is Scummy the Starmie. So I'm like, okay, what's going to happen here? So first off the bat rare, my Air Slash actually misses. I'm like, do they have Bright Powder? Like, could they have Bright Powder, or was I just unlucky? So this one was as follows. Heat Wave, we got Air Slash, Twister, and Mud Slap. And we got Modest Nature, Max Speed, and Max Special Attack on this Farfetch'd set. So what this Starmie is going to do, right, it's going to start setting up Cosmic Power. So as soon as I see Cosmic Power, I'm in a lot of trouble here. But then I get a big fat crit, which is absolutely awesome. So the next hit will probably almost take it out here. Now, when you see Cosmic Power on Starmie, when you actually do see it, it's usually probably going to have Recover, right? So it's going to recover itself off. And I'd say it's probably got, like, you know, one attacking move to do some damage, right? So go for Air Slash again, and Air Slash is going to miss. So I was in a little bit of a predicament here. I didn't really want to swap out because, as you can imagine, the Farfetch'd Evolution team isn't exactly what you call bulky, right? So that's why I had to run 6 Pokemon. So the other move they got is Meteor Beam. That's going to be boosting their special attack. Now, I know what I was already thinking through my mind what sort of move they'd have. I won't spoil it. I was sort of like let you guys guess it, right? So go for Air Slash continually. I just thought I could get this thing on a lower man health and maybe take it out. So Starmie's going to go for another Meteor Beam there. Well, it's going to obviously have the power up turn a Meteor Beam, and Farfetch'd is going to be going down. Bye-bye Farfetch'd, but you still did a pretty good job there. You did some pretty solid damage, right? I got that first crit in. So the next Farfetch'd is the Galar Farfetch'd. Now this is my final Gambit Choice Scarf set with Poison Jab. Just some coverage move on there, right? Max health and max speed. I've got Jolly Nature. Final Gambit is going to miss, which sucks so much. Now the Starmie is going to get a Recover Up, which really, really sucks. That is the first time in ever that I've had a Pokemon battle where I've missed with Final Gambit. Like, that's the very, very first time. Like, out of all the battles I've done, I've done thousands of battles. So go for the Final Gambit again, and Scummy the Starmie is going to just live again. Apparently, you know, Farfetch'd health wasn't quite enough to take it out, and now it's going to stall me out and go for another recover. Let's get some salt in the comments section. Okay, I've lost 2 Pokemon already. It's not looking too good, and I've still got 6 stars to deal with. You can probably guess now they're running a full Starmie team. Okay, into Sirfetch'd here. So this Sirfetch'd set was another Final Gambit set. We've got First Impression, Meteor Assault, and Night Slash. Max health and max speed, Jolly Nature, right? Now, my first impression here was to go for First Impression, but then I'm thinking, right, if it may not take it out, so I have to maybe go for a Night Slash, hope for the crit and take it out, or go for Final Gambit. This is a really, really big decision here. Now, I was also thinking maybe, you know, maybe they're going to attack me, right? But they do have one attacking move that takes a couple of turns to boost, right? So I thought, let's go for Night Slash and see what it does. And I don't get the crit, and now Starmie is going to be able to go for Recover again. So I'm in a bit of trouble here, and I don't want to lose my, I don't want to lose this Sirfetch'd at all, right? I'm probably going to call Sirfetch'd Farfetch'd a couple of times in this battle. Just warning you right now. I got a question of the day, people. How many times do I say Farfetch'd in this Farfetch'd video? So we're going to be swapping into the Galar Farfetch'd right now. The shinies between the shiny comparison is, I thought normal Farfetch'd was bad. The shiny on Galar Farfetch'd is so bad. Like, there's absolutely, like, zero difference. I mean, I think it's just saturated a little bit more on the brown, but that's about it, right? So this set, right, I'm having a look. This was my bulky set, right? This was my Rest, Sleep, Talk, Curse, and Revenge set with Scrappy Ability and Everlight as the item. So what Starmie's going to be doing, right, it's going to be setting up a couple of Cosmic Powers. This set really wasn't all that good for this team because there was 6 Starmie, right? But I thought I might be able to get a couple of Curses up and see if I could do, like, a little bit of damage to this thing. I might get a lucky, a lucky crit there too. Plus, I noticed this Starmie set, they've only got 1 attacking move, so... once that attacking move is gone, they pretty much can't do any damage to me at all. I could set up on them. There was some sort of options there. So even with the Everlight and the max health and max special defense, Farfetch'd Gala is nothing to write home about. It's not really bulky at all. It actually did live some really interesting moves with the battles. I did some really unknown moves that you'd never expected to live, but it was pretty bad to say the least. So I went for Revenge because most of the time I'd be going second, and Curse would bolster my defense and my attack at the same time. Like, if you got a couple of Curse up, it would hit pretty hard and it'd be fairly bulky on both sides, which is kind of nice too. So here, basically, I was trying to think how I'm going to get around this Starmie. I either had to sack off my Sirfetch'd again, which would leave me with 3 Pokemon remaining, right? Or I could maybe get a free swap in and maybe get a crit right. That was sort of my thought process at the moment. I just want to see, I sort of was hoping they'd swap at this point because they only had Meteor Beam right. So they're going to go for that Meteor Beam and it's not going to do too much damage at all. I was running a very, very bulky set. Plus it was not very effective, which, really helped out my Farfetch'd right here. So I thought, let's go for another curse here. I could maybe get like 3 or 4 curses up against this Starmie. It'd be like kind of nice to try that. And Starmie's going to go for another boosting into special attack, right? The thing about this move, a great item to run it right, is Power Hurt, because Power Hurt's really good. You get that insta +1, and then you can Dynamax afterwards. So definitely try that out in Starmie. Meteor Beam, it's a very, very good move to try. It's just that basically you get a simple +1, and then you get to fire off a really powerful attack too, and then you can Dynamax, right? So we got and the animation looks absolutely hype. So Farfetch'd, I'm getting my Sirfetch'd and Farfetch'd mixed up, is going to be going for another curse here. I think this is curse number 3. So I think I actually did some battles on stream, then I did some ones outside of stream too. This set actually had some reasonable promise during a couple of the battles I did. I was low-key trying to get a sweep with it, but it didn't work. I got 3 Pokemon down, but it was kind of promising, so I might try and get a Farfetch'd Gala sweep in the future. So the Starmie, right, the scummy Starmie is going to swap out. I went for a full power Revenge there, and it's about a 4-hit KO, which I was pretty proud of. Now I was thinking, let's go for another Revenge. I mean, it's not going to take itself out, right? I've got to take these Pokemon out. The Starmie was a very fast Pokemon too, so my team wasn't really that fast. I mean, Sirfetch'd was probably the fastest. I mean, and that was a Jolly Nature, I think, was about 250 speed, so it wasn't really that fast. I mean, the Choice Scarf ones are fast, but usually you just go Final Gambit and they fainter right. So now we're going to be going into my shiny Farfetch'd. This one here was a Endure set with Salac Berry, Sword Dance, Flail, and Close Combat. So Close Combat was a nice little addition to Farfetch'd, because that means you can hit Steel types, right? And Flail will be on 1 base, full base power on 1 health. So going for that Endure, hoping the Starmie will hit me some sort of really powerful special move there. And we got the Hydro Pump, so okay, that's really good. That's definitely going to take me all the way down to 1 health, right? So Farfetch'd is going to be on 1 health, and now it's going to get a +1 in speed for the Salac Berry, and it's going to be very, very powerful with Flail, right? In some circumstances, I could try and get a Sword Dance up, take a big hit, but it won't take me down to 1 health, but then I could go Endure, get the +1, and have an extra +2 in attack. But most of the time, Farfetch'd will get one shot, right? It's a very frail sort of Pokemon. The EVs for that one were as follows. We had max speed and max attack. I gave that one Jolly Nature up. Okay, so now in comes, this was a new Starmie. I finally took one Starmie out, which is pretty hype, right? And this Starmie actually was really, this is the really, really problematic Starmie on the team of stars, right? So obviously I went for another Flail, and then they outsped me. So I'm like, okay, I think this Starmie is going to be Choice Scarf, right? That's going to be a big problem because once again, my team was very, very slow, right? So down goes my second Farfetch'd. I've lost both my other Farfetch'd, my Galar ones. All I've got left is 2 Sirfetch'd, right? Now, this is my final Gambit set. I had to do something. I had to get rid of a Starmie. My options were really low because I only had 2 Pokemon left, and they had 5 Starmies left. I was in a world of pain here, people. So I went for the final Gambit. I sort of hoped they stay in, but they didn't. They swapped out there, and they went into Starfy. Now, we already seen Starfy before, so Starfy is most definitely going to go down to a final Gambit from Sirfetch'd there. I don't know about... I kind of wish... I mean, I don't mind Final Gambit's animation. It's sort of I don't know why it's a flame for. Like, it looks sort of like, it's like a little flame in a cup, sort of. I don't know, like a ball, like an orb? I don't know. I'm not sure. I felt like it could have something different for that animation. Anyway, so we got Sirfetch'd. This is the best set on my team, right? And this was my shiny one. So we got on this one, max attack and max speed. I think I did a Sirfetch'd set with this exact set or very, very similar on my channel already, if you want to check out that. I've done a Farfetch'd. I've actually done a Farfetch'd sweep. That was probably one of the first sweeps that I ever did. And I did a Sirfetch'd sweep. So the only one I haven't done is the Galar Farfetch'd sweep. That's like the last one of the, evolution line I haven't done. Anyway, so my number one priority here was to at least get up 1 in speed. And I thought maybe if I could get like a Leaf Blade, grassy terrain in the field, that would give me a 100% crit ratio, right? Because that's got the chance of critting on Leaf Blade, and I've got the Leak as the item, which makes it 100% crit. Like a very, very good combination, right? So firstly, going for that max airstream there. It does some really solid damage. Obviously, I didn't expect it to take out, but it does some, good damage there, and I get the crit, which is very, very nice. Now, I could go for another, I was thinking I could go for another one here, but I kind of do want to get that grassy terrain in the field, because that'll give me some good options. Now, since there's 6 Starmie, right, I can't go for a fighting type move. Brave Bird's going to do recall, and it may not crit. I've also got Night Slash as well, but Night Slash won't be as strong as Leaf Blade, right? With the, once you got the terrain in the field, the grassy terrain, right, that hits very, very powerful. Like, even if you got no attack boost whatsoever. So going for that, setting the grass on the field there, planting a couple of mushrooms, and Starmie's going to go down. So I'll start to claw my way back into this battle. I've got 3 Pokemon down now, but I still got 3 stars to go. So we got that nice terrain on the field too. Now, the thing about that Choice Scarf Starmie, right, is if they go for a Dynamax, they'll lose that, right? But I've got a +1 in speed, so I had that going for me as well. So I didn't expect them to maybe come in right now. And then we got Scummy. So we've seen Scummy earlier on. Scummy caused me a lot of issues here. So I could go for a Max Darkness, but it might not take it out if it doesn't crit. Max Overgrowth, the power of the grassy terrain in the field, will most definitely take this one out. Plus, it's super effective, right? So go for that. I don't know. Wait, where did those seeds come from? Play that video back there. Those seeds, where did they come from? Did it come out the leak? I feel like it might have come out the leak. Anyway, so Starmie's going to go down. That's 4 Pokemon, and we've got 2 more Starmies left. Now, also, I put terrain on the field, too, so I could get a little bit more health back, too. That was kind of nice to getting those, extra heals. So, Big Dipper's going to come in here. I've got 2 more Starmie, and I've got the Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade is going to be really nice here. 100% crit ratio. We got the grassy terrain up, and I've got a +1 in speed. So, I'm all good to go. Starmie's reasonably bulky in defense for a sweeping Pokemon, but, if most of their EVs are in, like, speed and special attack or whatever like that, they are definitely going to be going down in one shot. So, Big Dipper is going to go down. We've got 1 more Starmie, and it is the Choice Scarf Starmie from earlier on. Now, I was thinking, do they have, we only seen 1 set on that, I believe. Yeah, we only seen 1 move on that one because it was definitely Choice Scarf, and that took out my Farfetch'd. So I was like, they either have, if they want a Dynamax, they're going to get outsped. So I believe they're probably going to be able to attack this turn and outspeed me. And they are. They've got the Psychic, and Sirfetch'd is not going to be able to live that one. But that was the first battle. I actually really got back in that game there at the end. And it was pretty hard against like 6 Starmie. It was super effective against a lot of my team. But a very cool team there. And I hope you guys enjoyed this first battle. Let's get on to the second one. So we had like a theme team versus a theme team one there. All right, second battle here was against Skylar. And we got another theme team here as well. I want to see you people in the comment section. See if you can guess this team. If you guess this team, leave it in the comments. I'm not going to say what it is. You've got to be able to guess, right? So we got a Toxapex as a lead. I love versing Toxapex so much. And this was fire, right? So we got my my special, I'm going to call it Sirfetch'd, my special Farfetch'd, right? Now, this Farfetch'd, right, has Air Slash. I'm like, okay, this is probably one of the few Pokemon that I can actually outspeed with Farfetch'd, right? So I'll go for Air Slash and see if I can maybe get it like a flinch or something like that, or maybe a crit, right? So it does pretty good damage there, and I get a flinch. So like, okay, that's really nice there. Actually, I'm looking at that Toxapex name. I'm thinking that's like a roast to like just using a Toxapex in general. I'm pretty sure it's a roast nickname. Anyways, we got another Air Slash there, and I get 2 flinches in a row. Like, this is really good at the moment. Like, imagine a Farfetch'd, like, beating a Toxapex without even attacking. So go for another Air Slash there, hoping for that 3rd flinch in a row, almost take it out, and then it gets the liquidation off. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be like, was that Choice Bandit or something like that? I'm not sure, but Farfetch'd is going to go down there. But the great thing was, right, that Toxapex got put on such a tiny amount of health. So we're going to slide in here into my Farfetch'd Galar. I'm going to go for that Retaliate, because the reason I put Retaliate on the set was for one reason, right? Because when you use Retaliate, right, Watch this, guys. You slap stuff with your big old leg. Like, that's literally the only reason I put it on this set. So down goes Toxpex, and, you know, I got to swap out after this, but that's all good. I took out Toxpex with my leg. So next Pokemon we got here is the Qwilfish. Good to see Qwilfish being used. Now, Scrappy is really good, right? Not only can it hit Ghost types now, it doesn't actually get affected by Intimidate, which is a really great thing, right? I really like that. Intimidate got a lot of, like, nerfs against it, which was, you know, kind of nice there, because Intimidate's used, like, a lot. Such a great ability, right? So we got the Qwilfish go for Toxic. Obviously, that's never going to miss. But the good thing about it, right, is I swapped into my Farfetch'd Gala that can actually go to sleep. So, you know, rest, sleep, talk, the curse set, right? So I can set up maybe a couple of curses. Once again, it was sort of a similar situation to the last battle. I didn't have a very effective move, but I thought maybe I could get some sort of damage on this Qwilfish and maybe have a look what other moves it's got, right? So we got the Spiky Swimming going for the Liquidation there. It doesn't do much damage to me at all, but it actually gets a defense drop, which is kind of bad there for my, you know, my Farfetch'd. So go for that curse there. Notice that confusion. I got confused. And setting up a defense, a rise there, and attack and defense. So basically my defense is what it was before, but my attack does have an extra boost. So we got a little bit of poison damage here. I'm starting to think, right, I'm probably not going to live another attack and then take toxic damage, then the rest afterwards. So I've got to go for a rest right here and maybe get lucky with, like, a Sleep Talk, you know, Revenge Crit or something like that. I mean, Qwilfish is reasonably, like, for a sweeper, like, Qwilfish can do quite a few things. It can be, like, a good rain setter. It could be a good sweeper rain. It can set up toxic spikes. It can be reasonably bulky on the offensive side. So even its base defense was reasonable, right? So, I had to go for Sleep Talk here. I had really no options here. And I didn't really want to swap any of my other Pokemon into a Liquidation. It wasn't a very healthy thing to do when you've seen the damage to my Everlight Farfetch'd, right? So, I'd say it's about a 3 hit. So go for that Sleep Talk there, hoping to get maybe a Curse or Revenge, and I get Rest. I mean, it's been a while since I've used Sleep Talk Rest, but, you know, it feels good to be back, people, with Sleep Talk Rest. So we got another Liquidation here from the Qwilfish, and obviously Liquidation has a chance of dropping a defense, and that happened to me. I think that's happened twice now, so that's dropped my defense. So the next Liquidation will take out my Farfetch'd here, right? But the good thing, right, I got one more curse up. So now I'm starting to think, okay, if I go for another rest, right, I might get Sleep Talk twice in a row and get rest. And then maybe the Qwilfish will drop my defense again, and I won't even be able to attack this thing at all. So I may as well get one solid attack off against the Qwilfish, right? So I just managed to leave on 69 health, and I'm going to go for the Revenge there, and it does pretty good damage. It's about a 3 hit KO. Unfortunately for me, it's got the Black Sludge. I kind of guess it would, and, you know, it only did really minimal amounts of damage. So I went for Revenge. There's nothing I could have done here. It was a pretty bad set, but it was, you know, it is what it is, right? And Qwilfish is going to take my Farfetch'd out. So I've lost both my normal Farfetch'd and my Galar Farfetch'd right now. I still got one more Galar Farfetch'd. Now, at this stage, I'm thinking, right, okay, I better swap in my Farfetch'd Galar, right? And I could go for Retaliate, right? But, you know, if I go for it, there's no attack EVs. I've got to go for Final Gambit. That's my only play here. If I don't go for that, it'll live and it'll probably take me out. And then Final Gambit won't do as much damage later on in the game because I won't have as much health, right? So I had to take that opportunity, and I've lost half my team. Like, this was a tough team. Why I ran 2 Final Gambit users, right? I thought an eye for an eye on 2 Pokemon is pretty good when you're running a Farfetch'd team, right? Like, you could take out 2 problematic Pokemon that really counter your team. And when you run a Farfetch'd evolution team, there's a lot of counters, right? So Sandslash is just going to slide in here. I can go for a close combat, or I can set up maybe a flow. Now, it's a little bit afraid of hail, so it's like, I'm just going to go for close combat and see how much it does, right? And man, Farfetch'd just bodies the Sandslash in one shot. I wonder what that set would have been. I'm not sure. Maybe Skylar can say it in the comment section. So down goes the Sandslash, but if it did have hail or anything like that, you know, I wanted to get rid of that. So we got you pin me right around, and I've got the Electric Surge on the field now. So I'm like, okay, this thing can hit me with like a Thunder Shock, and I'm going to go down to one shot, right? So I'm thinking, okay, Pitchers is not a very fast Pokemon. It's going to take me out in one shot, right? Let's go for Endure. So it's got a Quick Claw. I was like, oh no. And now it's going to Dynamax. So Dynamax Pitchers. Now, what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to go for that Endure. I'm going to get that Salac Berry boost, and I'm going to spam Flail as hard as I can. Now, I know in Dynamax, right, it's not going to take it out, but it's going to do some pretty good damage, right? When Farfetch'd, it's stab, it's on 1 health, and Farfetch'd's attack stat isn't actually all that bad. Like, you know, a while ago it got that attack buff, which is, you know, really quite nice because Farfetch'd isn't the greatest Pokemon in the world, right? So going for that Endure, and we're going to go and see what attack it's going to use. I'm assuming it's like, look, it could be any electric kind of move. Like, I wasn't really sure, right? It could be a physical or a special set. So I'm going to live on 1 health there. I'm going to eat my Salad Brain. Not that it matters. If Pidgeotto gets a Quick Claw, I'm done and dusted, right? There's nothing I can do. So go for Flower. At least, like, the worst thing that could possibly happen here is Pidgeotto will get a Quick Claw activation and take me out. And they'll use up 2 turns of Dynamax. So it didn't happen. And boy, I reckon I would have got close to taking that one shot if it wasn't in Dynamax. So we got a... I nearly said a Hydro Pump then, and that is going to take me out in one shot. Obviously, I'm 1 health, and now we got some rain and we got some electricity on the field, so it's looking a bit nice on the field right now. It's just raining right now in real life. It's our winter in Australia at the moment. It's probably like summer for most of you American people, right? I'm assuming it is. Like, you guys can tell me in the comments anyway. So, Sirfetch'd is my last Pokemon here. Actually, once again, both the Sirfetch'd are. So, I've got no choice here. I've got to go for the final Gambit, and You Pin Me Round is going to go down, but so is my Sirfetch'd. But that was really, really handy there. Also, the great thing about final Gambit, right, since it's a fighting type move, and you've got Scrappy, right, you can use it against Ghost, which is kind of nice, right? So if a Dragapult comes in or something like lame like that, you can just take it out real quick. So, Sirfetch'd is my last Pokemon. Once again, this is my best Sirfetch'd set. All the rest of the sets were basically just hot steaming like piles of trash, but they were fun to use, right? So we got Have a Seat here with, I was thinking of something else there. All right, so we got a Ferroseed here, and I can go for like close combat, and that's going to do a lot of damage. Now, I wasn't sure if it was going to be an Everlight, a Focus Sash set. You never know with these memes, right? And obviously my stats are going to drop there, and it's got the Iron Barb, so it's going to take a little bit of damage there. So the last Pokemon I wasn't worried about at all that I hadn't seen yet, but I was kind of curious whether it had like a troll item or something like that to get around me. So it's Maractus. Good to see Maractus being used. Now, it's either, I was thinking, this will either leave as it's got Focus Sash. We're not going to talk about Focus Band. Yeah, that's about it. If it's got Focus Sash, even if it's got Focus Sash, like, it's probably not going to take me out because I'm Dynamax. I remember my Dynamax candies, and, you know, Maractus, it doesn't have anything like that's going to be, like, super duper effective against me, right? It's probably going to need, like, a really good strategy. I was maybe thinking Spiky Shield, but I did go for Spiky Shield. I've got the Max Airstream. That's going to be super effective, and Pokey is going to get poked down. That's about it for the second battle. Hope you enjoyed. Both these battles are really fun and challenging team to use. Next theme team will be my 800th one. If you enjoyed this video, guys, drop a like, and I'll catch you for the 800th one. Peace.